To be Virat Kohli or not to be, being Virat Kohli in the Indian cricket setup is a pretty stiff challenge. The more you do, the more you'll be talked about. And as is always the case, there are question marks around India's legends just when you think they are at the finishing stages of their career. There was so much talk. Krishnendu, Banerjee, Abhishek Shetty, on Sachin Tendulkar. Remember when he was nearing the end of an illustrious career, there were headlines which screamed Endulkar. I mean, even the god of cricket wasn't spared. So obviously, there will be some questions around Virat Kohli. Not the best of times in the T20 World Cup with the bat, but then he played a match-winning innings when it really mattered the most in the final to win that elusive ICC trophy for India after so many, many years. We're back with a third episode where we rave, rant, scream, ask questions that matter, the burning questions. Krishnendu Banerjee, YouTube channel. But is he there? Is he in the twilight of his one-day career as well?
My point is he's not in ODI career, but definitely in Test because we haven't seen him play a lot of good cricket in Test. He has struggled. I mean, look back and see how he fared. He hasn't played since January. Yes, he had a son coming, so he missed that. But where has he played that? ODI, Virat Kohli is untouchable still. Uh, in in my point of view, he is untouchable in ODIs. But in Test cricket, we are seeing the end of Virat Kohli. Probably in the next 2 years, the next cycle could be the last. I mean, that is also a stretch. T20s, he should have retired way before. 2022 was the World Cup when he should have actually stopped and not come back. I mean, yes, he did play well the final, but had he not won the World Cup, the T20 World Cup, we definitely had a lot of questions for Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, and everyone. I mean, that trophy saved maybe his legacy. But other than that, yes, he definitely was on the end of that term, we say.
Shetty, I mean, yeah, when you look at Virat Kohli, he's won everything that there had to be, right? He
Yeah.
was an ODI World Cup champion in his first appearance in the tournament. He won the T20 World Cup. Obviously, hasn't won the World Test Championship yet. Two failed attempts in the final. And look, what has he got to lose with playing a couple more years? Nearing in on 300 ODIs, nearing in on 14,000 one-day runs, one international runs. He's already scored 50 ODI hundreds. He's done everything. I mean, he now holds the record for most runs in a single edition of the ODI World Cup. What more do you want from the man? Or do you want him to push one last leg for a few more months and get that Champions Trophy back home again?
Yeah, so I think this is the only reason, like all the points you have mentioned, I think this is the only reason why I feel this is the end. His end is coming. I think he is contained. He is okay with whatever he has achieved. Like the personality he was few years back and the guy he is now. We can clearly see the difference. Like I think a few days back he completed 16 years in international cricket, 16 or 17. And before this year, every year he posted on his cricket anniversary like glad to complete 8 years, glad to complete 9 years. Till 2023, he was posting. But 24, he didn't post anything. I think he is, like we can see, he visits ISKCON temple everywhere he goes to London. I think he is drifting away from cricket. He is not that much into it anymore.
So you are saying Kohli ji is already London wale and he is not
Yeah.
even in zone of playing cricket that much.
Yeah. I don't think he cares about cricket that much that he used to. He doesn't care about
Virat Kohli does
personal
not care about
achievements
cricket.
also.
Quote him on that.
This is going to headline our latest episode. Virat Kohli does not care about cricket, says the InsideSport head of social media. This is going to create a buzz.
Yeah.
I think this is the part where you should cut out and post a reel and see
Not only about cricket, but about his personal achievements as well. Like what drives a person, like you said, he has literally won everything. Now what he wants to achieve is 100 hundreds, which I think is very far now.
He hasn't won a WTC final.
Yeah, but like you said, he hasn't been great in test match over the past few
Yeah,
years. He missed all the five tests against England, and then he joined the RCB camp 5 or 6 days after the last test ended. So he could have easily played the last test, the fifth test against England in India, but he didn't. He chose not to. And so yeah, so I don't think that he's that much
You know,
into it, or it will bother him that much if he doesn't win.
very interesting perspectives from both Krish and Shetty. But look, and it's been over 16 years since Virat Kohli made his international debut against Sri Lanka. Ironically, it is this last tour of Sri Lanka where we started talking a little bit more about Virat Kohli's
maybe his
motivation
last tour as
towards.
well.
Right, it could be right. It is. It's maybe it's not going back to Sri Lanka again, and maybe he will hang up his boots. But here's the thing: I think he's a bit of a street fighter, and again, 2 years back, as early as 2 years back, I had said that Virat and Rohit needed to step away from the T20I side. They did that after finally winning this trophy for India, but and that's taken its toll on him. The sledging, the banter, the over the top celebrations, all of that takes a toll on you. And maybe that that grappling controversy around his captaincy and the fact that he was sacked as one-day captain, he decided to step down as Test captain later
Failed
in South
captain.
Africa. Yeah, I mean, look, there was a lot of talk. None of that was ever confirmed. That saying that there was a bit of a fallout between the then BCCI chief and then Virat Kohli said a lot of things in that press conference before India left for South Africa, almost 3 years back. So there's a long time has passed on, and you see probably a little bit more reserve Virat Kohli. It's ironical that you using reserve and Virat Kohli in the same breath, Krish. But
Yeah.
but isn't there a school of thought? I mean, it's my school of thought. I have thought about it. Gambhir and Kohli, they've clashed a few times in the IPL, a couple of times. The last time they did that was all we could talk about during the 2023 IPL. When think about this, Virat Kohli over the last 3 years, he's also gone through certain changes. He was sacked as captain, as ODI captain. Before that, he stepped down as T20 captain. Then he also decided to step down as Test captain. He was always been so over the top with the celebrations, with sledging, trying to take on opposition captains and bowlers. It took a toll on him somewhere. Maybe the energy. There was a bit of a controversy around that as well. He said a lot of things before India left for that tour of South Africa, 2021,
Yeah.
2022. But is it possible then that you're looking at a street fighter in Virat Kohli and a street fighter in Gautam Gambhir, both equally gutsy? Maybe this is one last motivation to go home, bring the Champions Trophy. Not to forget, India have a crucial tour of Australia later in the year. They're still in the running for the WTC final, for the third successive WTC final. India haven't lost Australia in a Test series in 10 years now. India have won back-to-back Test series down under. There's still a lot of motivation for Virat Kohli to
Yeah.
continue.
I
Sure.
think this BGT series will decide a lot about Virat Kohli's career from his own point of view. I don't think anyone is big enough to remove or drop Kohli if he wants to play until unless he decides he doesn't. Like you spoke about Tendulkar. No one had the guts to drop Tendulkar even if he was dipping later in his career, and it will same go for Virat Kohli. I think from his own point of view, he'll decide because the last BGT, I think so he skipped because birth of his first child, and the
Second child.
only test we played over there was where we lost miserably,
36
but
all out.
36 all out. So after that, this time we'll see how he does well. If he does well or not, so that will impact a lot on his own self, because 2024 zero centuries till now. Now he has great opportunity against Bangladesh, New Zealand home, then five tests against Australia. So these things will matter a lot in deciding how prolonged his career will be, or when
Actually,
he'll decide to retire.
I mean, he should have stopped the T20 and focused more on the Test. I mean, that is how you could have prolonged your career. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Joe Root, he decided not to play T20s, right? And then there are a lot of players like those. Ben Stokes is another. Yeah, he is an all-rounder. We can say that, but there is a time when you have to take that call because you are not young anymore. Even though Virat Kohli is a fitness freak and everything, VGT, yes, he has unfinished business there. I still feel because he missed out on that last. Even though he was the captain on the tour, but he did not finish the tour. So VGT is definitely his chance. WTC 2025 final could be his last. It is my opinion. And beyond that, anything beyond that is you're just stretching it, man. So the legacy he has created, I think that's the best end it could be. Winning that, lifting that mace and just end it.
But think about it, motivation, right? He's crossed 50 ODI hundreds. 100 international hundreds now beginning to look more and more unlikely. He's anyway stepped down from one format. I heard talk about how he's given up on one format, but how many hundreds did he have in T20 internationals? One. And that was the last couple of months of that stint in T20 ice. One day, what has he got to look forward to? The Champions Trophy 2025. Of course, there's the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Krish and Shetty will talking of BGT. For the uninitiated, it's the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Um, but Krish, you wanted to stretch it. I like to stretch things. How about the 2027 ODI World Cup? I mean, okay, 2011, fine. But that he didn't play a leading role there. Had India won in 2023, it would have been a starring role, and there would have been no question about who the man of the series would have been and who the most fetid pair would have been alongside Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah. Virat Kohli by a mile alongside the captain, of course. But when you talk about motivation, there's always motivation, right? What pushed Tendulkar to do it? Uh, what is to say if Tendulkar had won the ODI World Cup in 2003? Could he have retired earlier? Maybe. Uh, what if Virat Kohli had won the 2023 ODI World Cup? Would he have already gone from the one day format? Maybe.
Yeah, I think if, like you asked, if Sachin would have won the 2003 World Cup, I think he would have retired before. But then he was also playing for his 100 hundreds. So you can never really say that if he would have retired or not. But I don't see Virat in the same light as I do to Sachin. I don't think he has that. He's chasing that 100 hundreds now. He has literally won everything except the World Test Championship trophy. And if India wins it this year, next year, he will retire from Test format. World Cup 2027, I think he'll play. Um, and I think it will be good for India only if he plays. But he'll be only playing one format, and the burden will be very less. He can schedule his games very easily for himself, and that will be good. But yeah, it all depends on him, like I said. Even Matthew Aiden said it today that Smith and Virat are nearing their end. I think we all can see it from the point of view of their career, like where they were and what they are doing now. I think, but again, this Australian summer will impact a lot in their future, about their future as well.
Um, Tests or one days. You can't say he's moving out of both formats together. Right? It's got to be one. Quickly choose one, Krish and then Shetty, and why?
Drop ODIs, play test. He has set his legacy in ODIs. There is nothing for him to achieve. He has won the World Cup. He has won the Champions Trophy. He has won every small, some stupid bilateral series also he has. He has captained the side. He has done everything. Stop playing ODIs. Focus on test. That is where people still go to the stadium to watch Virat Kohli play test. There is no doubt about that. He has made test cricket popular. There is no denying that. Virat Kohli hasn't made T20 as popular. He has made Test cricket popular. So that is his legacy. If there was no Virat Kohli, people would have not watched Test cricket as they do now. That is the reason he should forget about those 20 hundreds. Yes, maybe he's not getting there. Maybe he can. Joe Root also got somewhat 14 hundreds a year. Why not? Virat Kohli can get there too. But Virat Kohli, Test cricket needs Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli does not need Test cricket. That is my opinion. No matter what I can say about, I argue that Virat Kohli should have stopped playing T20Is. He should have been dropped from T20Is. Without Virat Kohli, there is no Test cricket. You bring in Shreyas Iyer, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill. The moment Virat Kohli stops playing Test cricket, there will be a huge dip in viewership. There will be huge dip in interest in Test cricket. He has kept Test cricket alive, and no matter how long he plays, even if let's say for 2 years, that is going to be his legacy.
Not a bad
Yeah,
way to go.
same. I feel that he should retire from ODIs. It's a dead format. No one watches it. No one is interested in it. Virat Kohli is too much fun for us to watch. Like literally to just watch him on screen is a pleasure for his fan. Be it not a big fan like me, like I'm not a very big Virat Kohli fan, but just to watch him on screen is very much fun for us. Test format, I think it's coming back, and like Krish mentioned, he has had a very big hand in making Test cricket popular again. He should concentrate on that, and again, he is lacking behind in Test numbers. So, I had this question for both of you. From Bangladesh Test to Australia, we have like total 10 Test matches. How many centuries do you think Virat Kohli will score between these 10 matches? How many do you think?
I'd hope at least 5 to 600s across Bangladesh and Australia. That would be fun. That would be vintage Virat Kohli just before he bows out. Krish, I'll let you take a number and then we'll say goodbye to an emotional topic. It's making me emotional.
I would say zero.
I was expecting that.
You
They were
don't-
optimistic.
You think
Yeah,
he
they
won't
were
score a century?
No, I don't see that happening because he has struggled massively against Peanuts at home.
Yeah.
Australia is where he can actually score 100, but that is also a stretch. Uh, we don't know yet what kind of pitches they're going to offer because they are not going to make it easy anymore. I mean, we had this is BGT is like ours now. I mean, no, we are not scared of Australia anymore. Australia are scared of us because no matter what position they put us in, we always win, and that is the psychological effect they have. And I am saying this: they are going to rig this BGT series. They are going to do anything to put India in a bad spot so that, and if that goes for pitches, they will do that. They will create such pitches where scoring runs is difficult. And Australia already know India's weak point. Make a slow pitch, India cannot play. No batters can play, including Virat Kohli. Probably, yeah, Virat Kohli definitely can play, but scoring 100 on those pitches won't will never be easy. So that is what I feel. Make a turner, India are done. Make it a space-friendly pitch, seam-friendly pitch, India are done. Make it a slow turner like what we have in Ahmedabad. I mean, maybe not that low, but yeah, on those pitches, runs will not be easy to score. So
We'll have to quickly wrap this up. Again, an invigorating discussion as always with Krishnendu Banerjee, the ever optimistic Krish, and Abhishek Shetty. A lot more balanced. A lot more balance. It's been nuanced. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Come back to Inside Sport for a lot more. Your comments matter, your feedback matters. And of course, you need to subscribe if you like this. Subscribe to us. Thank you. Have a good week.